Hello and welcome to Mupdates, your monthly Medfield updates. I'm Brett Poirier, filling in for Audrey Enzer under these unique circumstances. The bulk of this broadcast will be used breaking down the March 31st Selectmen meeting held on Zoom. You can see this meeting in its entirety by visiting the Medfield TV watch page, www.medfield.tv/watch, or on our government channel Comcast 22 and Verizon 45. I want to start by giving credit to Town Administrator Christine Truweiler, who took the time and efforts to figure out not only how to stream on Zoom, but also assisted in getting that stream on Medfield TV. Her efforts through this process should be commended. The meeting started off with two organizations looking to help those in need in Medfield. The first being the Home Committee with an update from Kathleen Thompson, and the other being the Medfield Foundation with updates from Evan Weinsfeld and Abby Marble.
We're in a position now to again, engage in a partnership with the Medfield Foundation and make just a financial donation to them.
Okay.
And as we've done with our camperships, I've talked to all the board members yesterday and thought that we'd make an initial donation of $10,000. And if more funding, depending on what the need is, we could talk about additional funding.
Well, so first of all, on behalf of the Medfield Foundation, Kathleen, thank you for mentioning your donation. I know Abby and I would both be very excited that MFI and our sort of COVID relief fund would be able to use that money to support the community. As this crisis was developing, Abby and I talked about creating a Facebook group that could help inform people in town and provide a way to connect people who are willing to help with those people who need help. And so we created that, and quickly that grew. It's over 1,000 people now. Through this new effort related to COVID-19, Abby and I talked and we worked with the MFI board, and everybody agreed that we would put out a fundraising appeal to raise money for COVID relief as well. We're tracking that money separately. We are working through the same individuals at Medfield Youth Outreach and the UCC Church to decide how to evaluate those requests. We were concerned that there would be a large number of requests, so we created an online form that would capture the information and allow us to then filter it, make sure it was appropriate and relevant. If there was something that we could respond to somebody and say, well, this is more something for unemployment, here's a resource for you, or try to help direct them. And then everything else we would pass on to the committee to evaluate, and they would then make the determination and be in touch directly with the individuals.
The money that we're raising for the COVID relief, 100% of that $10,000 is going to go back to the Medfield residents. MFI is not even taking an administrative fee.
Christine actually was able to put together some information on the Medfield town website that lists things there. I guess you guys have a COVID-19 page. And so there's some resources listed there. That to me is one of the ways that the town can actually get the word out. Is, if you're directing people for more information to the town website, these resources are listed there. So if somebody wants to learn more about donating or getting funds, I believe the links are listed on the website, and that's a great way that the town is able to help spread the word.
Next in the meeting was an update on the Townwide Master Planning Committee from Chairman Jay Duncan. They recently had to postpone the public forum scheduled earlier this month, and Jay discussed the short-term future development of the master plan.
We kind of came to a conclusion that maybe we should consider kind of slowing down and backing off, which we really don't want to do. But some of the reasons that came up amongst the committee were first concerned about participation. Folks are also concerned about, the inventory that we just completed, and we have actually inventory volume 2, an assessment of the existing conditions. Who knows whether that changes much, depending on how long this goes and how folks are affected. Another thing was also, would people even be concerned about this whole process, given economic issues, employment issues, health issues? Now we decided we're not going to change course. We're not going to do anything yet. We're not going to do anything drastic, but we should kind of think about what's going on in the world and in Medfield and how that might affect this process.
What you're saying is reasonable. It's not the best time to go try to finalize a master plan.
There's a number of documents that have recently been posted to the town's website that the committee has been working on over the past couple of months that were being prepared in advance of the second forum, that folks in the community, if they perhaps need some reading material or a little distraction over the next coming weeks, there's summary sheets. It's basically a 2-page document for each chapter. And then there's the inventory and assessment of existing conditions, which is a broader spectrum of those chapters. The list of goals and objectives and the preliminary vision and goals have all been posted to the town's website. So it's maybe not the worst time to have a little bit of time for people to be able to digest those documents if they're interested.
A large discussion centered around the Selectmen looking to help local businesses in town. Selectman Mike Marcucci led the discussion on the Economic Vitality Fund that didn't find a definitive plan in this meeting, but initiated many topics the town is going to develop.
This crisis is having a significant impact on a lot of our downtown businesses, restaurants and otherwise. And we do have this relatively modest remaining Economic Vitality Fund, but there are other municipalities that are doing things to support their small businesses.
Just to let you know, we do have a question from an attendee who would like to know if residents can donate to the Economic Vitality Fund to help local businesses. It's not set up that way. Currently, this is just an appropriation given by town meeting. I would recommend that if residents want to contribute to the Economic Vitality, they should be buying gift cards and going to the restaurants. And they can probably do that a lot quicker than we can do it, unfortunately.
Perhaps in the near term, that Economic Vitality Fund can make a difference to people. It's not a long-term fix, but in the intensity of what they're dealing with now, it might be something that could make the difference. I'm not yet at a point where I can visualize the specific program we would do, but that would meet all the legal wickets.
So when the warrant committee, who actually did vote 2 meetings ago to give the fund $15,000 and make a recommendation for $15,000 at town meeting, one of their discussion points, and I believe what turned the vote on this, because as you know, there's several people who don't support the fund at all. I think what turned them is that come this fall, and especially for December, the businesses that currently donate to make the holiday stroll a success may not be able to do that. And one of the concerns that Amanda Hall had, who's handling the warrant article, was we should try and have that fund available to step in to make sure we don't lose a significant community event like that that's normally sponsored by the businesses, that we kind of give them a pass this year that will take on more of the cost. Because I think by then we're going to need some of our regular community events and sense of community back for us.
I do think, Christina, it would be worth trying to sort out the details on how we might do this so we can consider it at a future meeting. Because in addition to the actual dollars, I do think there is a symbolic value to having the town doing what it can, even if it's modest, to support those businesses that we have.
The final topic we'll cover from this meeting is the Treasurer Tax Collector Georgia Kalivas' update from her department and what the state and town can do to help residents in difficult financial times.
Above all, I want to thank those taxpayers who have met the deadlines. Unfortunately, because of these difficult times, we are seeing a few problems. Our real estate tax bills are due May 1st. The governor has yet to sign the bill that would delay the deadline. So if that is voted in, the fourth quarter will be due on June 1st and not on May 1st. Obviously, that will cause a cash flow problem. The second issue that I'm having is motor vehicle excise tax. The first commitment was mailed out at the end of January. Those bills were due on March 9th, the day before the governor declared the state of emergency. I had the discretion of when I can put them on demand. I have not put those on demand. I do not plan on putting those on demand. The governor will be signing an additional legislation, which the Board of Selectmen will need to approve. And that additional legislation is to waive all penalties and interest on any real estate tax and excise tax from the date of the emergency, which was March 10th, through June 30th. Currently, our receivable listing is higher than it normally is. It's usually 10% of the original commitment. Right now, it's about 40% of the original commitment, which translates into about $55,000 in demands. So if those all get paid by June 30th, we will lose $55,000 in demands and in interest. The governor is trying to assist taxpayers. As a municipality, we're also trying to assist taxpayers, but just keep in mind that our local receipts will suffer, by making these decisions.
What I was trying to understand is whether the financial issue here is principally an issue of bill payments that we would have expected to say get in March that we won't get till June without any added penalties. So it's really the time value of money over that period is what we're losing, or whether under normal circumstances, there's a certain number of people that don't pay bills, and the penalties associated with those bills typically represents a significant added boost to our revenues, even under normal circumstances.
I think it's a combination of both, to be honest with you.
So if you're in a position that you can pay your taxes on time or even pay them early, you can really help Medfield from a cash flow standpoint by getting your taxes in early. If you're one of the people that's not suffering from this and can handle it, please, at least this time around, pay your taxes. If anything, try to pay them early.
That meeting can be seen in its entirety, both on our watch page, www.medfield.tv/watch, or on our government channel, Comcast 22 and Verizon 45. We now have a statement from the school committee.
Hi, I'm Mae O'Shea Brooke, and I'm the Medfield School Committee Chair. Tonight we talked about the coronavirus. We have to be really thoughtful about this, so we've consulted with the Medfield Board of Health and also the Medfield School Physician. What Jeff Marsden said at today's Board of Health meeting, which really stuck with me, and he said we have a moral obligation to educate every single child in our school system, and really we have the gamut, so some kids need an aid. How are we going to address that? If and when school is canceled, we have to keep the kids on track. You think about, I think there are either 59 or 60 plus kids in our school who are clients of the Medfield food cupboard, and you think, shoot, they have breakfast and lunch in our schools. What if our schools are closed? How are they going to get that extra food for their families? So the Medfield food cupboard has said that they do have a plan in place, which I'm very grateful for, and hopefully people will donate gift cards or monetary funds, because they will. Their action plan, I believe, is to hand out more gift cards to the families that have been affected. Hopefully the community can come together and we can find some solutions to maintain the education that we have for our students.
Just as a reminder, every meeting that was covered by Medfield TV can be found on our watch page, www.medfieldtv/watch, or on our government channel, Comcast 22 and Verizon 45. That concludes this episode of Mupdates for March 2020. I'm Brett Poirier, filling in for Audrey Enzer. Thanks for watching.